Sherrone Moore, former head coach of the Michigan Wolverines, who lost to Ohio State a couple weeks ago. He got fired abruptly a couple days ago. Then more news started shaking out that this man got arrested because of inappropriate relations with another woman who happens to work at the University of Michigan. Now, a couple things have happened since then. Now, today, Sherrone Moore was officially charged with 3 crimes, including home invasion and stalking. Okay. Now this is what we got. I got these tweets from a couple beat writers of one's a Michigan beat writer. Well, he's not Michigan beat writer. He's college football. Chris Vahini and Nicole Arbach. So I'm gonna start with Nicole first. She says that the prosecutor says that Sherrone Moore and the woman had an intimate relationship for a number of years. I quote, our victim broke up with the defendant on Monday morning. She presented herself to the school and corroborated the fact that they had a relationship. She says that Sherrone Moore went to the woman's house, grabbed butter knives and kitchen scissors, and threatened to kill himself. Threatened her that my blood is on your hands. Now, Chris Vahini says Sherrone Moore's attorney says Moore was taken to a mental health facility for evaluation, not turned over for commitment, and instead turned back over to law enforcement for lodging. As part of Moore's $25,000 bond, he cannot leave the state without court permission and will have a GPS tether. No contact with victim whose name will not be public record. Must continue mental health treatment. Now that is a hell of a 2 weeks, ladies and gentlemen. That is a hell of a 2 weeks for this guy. Now here's my theory. Theory time on here. This is my theory. This was known for a while by a lot of people in the Michigan circles. I believe that, and the reason I say that is because it happened so abrupt. And now old tweets are starting to be brought up. My favorite thing to say about Twitter is there's always a tweet. And we're starting to see tweets from people in the know at Michigan, whether they're students, people involved with the football program, alluding to the fact that Sherrone Moore was messing around on his wife and kids. Now, I do think it's very funny that he cheated on a white woman with another white woman, but that's neither here nor there. I think that, to me, if they don't lose to Ohio State, I don't think this ever comes out. I really don't. I think they find a way to cover this. I think at the root of this is that they lost to Ohio State. And he was going to get taken down for whatever things that Jim Harbaugh left the university for anyway. He was going to be the fall guy regardless. But when they saw him lose Ohio State in the fashion that he lost Ohio State, they was like, okay, execute Order 66. And they decided to drop everything. Because if you look at some of these tweets, people was tweeting about this 2 years ago. And I don't think it's a coincidence that not only did the woman break up with him, she also went and told the school. So something triggered her to do that. Now, I think it's very shame. First of all, trying to kill yourself with a butter knife. I mean, hey, man, mental health matters over here. We know mental health matters. A butter knife? And this is also how I know she was white. Because if she wasn't, she'd have told him, do it. If there was another race of woman, she'd have told him, do it. So that sticks out to me as well. But I just think this will happen when you get people who are already goofies or lames and they get a little bit of power and they don't know what to do with it. That's what I get from this situation here. Who wants to take the floor next?
I'll get it out the way because I'll get it out the way because I'm the Michigan fan here. I too believe, and let me just say this is unfortunate, but I do believe also that if he didn't lose to Ohio State, we wouldn't be having this conversation because sports is sleazy, colleges are sleazy, and people are sleazy. If what was reported was true, that he ordered a Plan B to the crib and a Door Dasher also got involved in this, do you think that Door Dasher would have did that shit if they would have beat Ohio State 14-13? With that being said,
Not
this
at
whole
all.
thing is with that being said, this whole thing is nasty. Very nasty. Because you can't, it's certain things that you just can't tell me is why it's nasty. You can't tell me that the school didn't know about it. You can't tell me that the AD wasn't aware. You can't tell me that the school president wasn't aware. We've seen so many college football coaches get involved with assistants and some shit happen. Go look at Mel Tucker. Go look at Bobby Petrino. And I had to explain my cousin the Bobby Petrino shit and why it was so wild. To me, it wasn't wild that he got caught, that he did the press conference, that he got fired. It became wild, right? The neck brace and all that. It became wild when he became the school's offensive coordinator.
Yeah.
And their coach gets fired. And he's the interim coach. That's why you can't tell shit like that. Is why you can't tell me that Michigan wasn't aware.
I mean, bang, Hugh Freeze was calling prostitutes from his office phone. Like,
right. Like, you can't tell me he was a freak man. And there probably was some mental health issues, because to me, yeah, there's definitely some mental health issues when it comes to some of the things that he was doing. And not only that, as soon as you lose your job, you go over there, look what you done to me. Ah, like, and then get arrested. And you saw, I don't know if you guys, and I probably shouldn't have did that, but shit. The last thing that I will say is it is very embarrassing, but I am not going to be one of those people that say this make black coaches look bad. No, this make him look bad, because the fact of the matter is you had one of the elite jobs given to you, passed down to you by Jim Harbaugh, and the fact that the school probably knew about a lot of this shit and just swept it under the rug, make it even worse. What people got to do is stop letting their dick influence their decisions.
Yes.
As simple as that. That man let his pain influence a decision that is going to wreck two families. It's going to wreck a lot of these students on this school, at this school playing, and it's going to wreck him, because he could have just kept quiet and became assistant running back coach in the NFL. But no, he decided to crash out. And because he crashed out, now he's done. He will not get another job. You won't see that man at no doggone JUCO. You won't see him at an NAIA. You won't see him on a podcast with Jason Brown. He's done. And
he ain't gonna be coaching in Dunbar. He ain't gonna be coaching no high schools, nothing. He ain't even gonna be a gym teacher, bro.
He's not even gonna be a gym teacher. That's just a wrap.
Yeah, it's
because he crashed out.
I just say this real quick, Courtney. I just want to say this real quick with and I just don't understand. Like, obviously, this is a much bigger scale. I don't understand people see people at work. Like, I get it. You're around these people all day, but it's the dumbest thing on planet Earth. It's just dumb.
And if anything, something like this is dumb, up. You don't go down. Yeah. You go up. You sleep up.
Courtney, what's you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, so again, I don't want to discount the idea, right, that they're saying he was evaluated, and they said, yeah, essentially you're good, like you don't need to be taken in for a psychiatric hold or anything. And you're talking about with a butter knife. I mean, is that like all you had access to, or is this like a classic case of a narcissistic man, just having to deal with the consequences of his own actions? Like, you made the conscious decisions to sleep with and allegedly impregnate one of your staff members. And now, those pesky consequences, like the crash out is valid. You just destroyed not only your life, but like you've got a wife and 3 kids. Like, it's a very valid crash out. That being said, Bang, I think, Bang, you brought it up, where you brought up Jim Harbaugh, and it kind of just made me think about, yes, obviously college football coaches are held to this incredibly high standard, right? But that's always been a sort of thing with Michigan in particular, right? The Michigan man is a very common, I don't want to say trope, but it is a trope to a degree, right? Like the kind of people that I think we maybe need to revisit that as a whole, think about like the past 5 to 10 years of Michigan football. I mean, Jim Harbaugh can't even come back and coach. Beyond, I mean,
Yeah.
the Connor Stallions cheating like situation, and now this with Coach Moore. I mean, we really need to have a dialogue about what it means to be a Michigan man. Because respectfully, I feel like that is the Michigan man. Am I tripping? Am I tripping?
No, you're not tripping. I'm just laughing at this comment right here. He said only he had access to butter knives in the kitchen. Her ass can't cook.
Oh.
That was a good comment. No, but Courtney, you are 100% correct. You are 100% correct. And nobody is enjoying this more than my brother right now. If you want to see what his Twitter name is right now, it says Sherrone Moore's op. He tweeted out that video.
I'm not happy about it. I think it's an objectively terrible situation. You're messing up the life. You not only your family, but like all your recruits, all the kids that played for you, that signed on to play for you. Like your poor decision making has completely derailed countless lives, and the impact is going to be felt around that community, like you said, around the school. Like it's going to be felt. But that being said,
oh, okay, that was Damien. That was Damien who commented. Damien, you must have changed your YouTube name. That sounds like a Damien comment. But yeah.
it's really what really is makes me sad is the fact that, and it shouldn't, because again, you brought up Bobby Petrino. We talked about Hugh Freeze and what he did being a freaky frog down at Ole Miss and still somehow failed upward into a job at Auburn. And
right,
black coaches unfortunately are going to be held accountable because of something they didn't even do. Is it going to give other black coaches trying to make their way upward into new positions? Is that going to give other ADs pause, like in trying to find
black coaches can't be
hire a black coach now.
Right. No, black coaches can't be mediocre and get jobs like Lane Kiffin.
Yeah, no, what I'm saying is I don't think it's gonna affect that. I mean, to your point, if they're always looking for the Michigan man, who gonna be that anyway? Like who that gonna be? Tim Biakapatuka? Like who gonna
Caitlin DeBoer, like, you are a Michigan Wolverine.
Like what I'm saying is, however, to that point is he could have failed up. Like he legit could have failed up.
Like if he said,
wouldn't have crashed out. Yeah, he could have been one of those people that failed up. You didn't fail. You failed up because he crashed out. And that's literally what, when I look at this outside of just the disappointment of all of this happening, that shows me mentally he has a lot going on. And far be it the question, why is that going on? Did the
crashing out
see that?
Crashing out the side chick house is crazy to me. Like that sounds like something you do to your wife when she about to leave you. Like crashing out the side chick house is nuts.
Like it's just, and this is not copping for him. It's. Did you really look at mentally what this guy had going on? Because if you hear the stories of him stalking the young lady and all of that, and it wasn't like this just happened. There's been people who have been saying this and all of that. You didn't give a shit in the first place if all of these things that we hearing are true. You didn't care about the staffer. You ain't care about him. You ain't care about nothing but let's get these wins or at least go beat Ohio State. That's just, again, if all of the things that's coming out is true, that he came to them, said he had some mental health issues. They was like, fam, you good. Don't even worry about it. But you're hearing about all these stories about stalking and aggressiveness and all of this stuff. Like, it feels like a lot of stuff that you got swept under the rug until you couldn't do it. And maybe the DoorDasher who was like, yo, he got a plan B coming to the crib. What we doing? Maybe that was the catalyst. I just don't think people really cared enough until the egg got on their face.